We're here at the Patton Crosswhite VFW in Bristol, Tennessee to do our investigation on March 13th. Some of the claims here are full-bodied apparitions, growls, soldiers marching, faces behind people, just off-the-wall noises, goosebumps, different things. A little bit of the history as far as what could possibly cause the haunting. There was a woman that was murdered in the ballroom. Ladder, right? In the
coming back through, changing the marquee sign, coming through, and what I heard was I thought they were critters above the stage. I mean, so much that I came up to the top of the stage, and I stood here for a minute, kind of like trying to figure out what I'm hearing.
Right.
It just sounded like just kind of noises. And so then I'm like, okay, well, I'm not worried too much about that. I want to go up here and see what's going on. So then I come into the closet over here, and you see that it has this partition wall that comes up above the stage.
Right.
So I get the super extension ladder, and I jack that thing all the way up. Now I'm all the way up on top of the pony wall there, and I'm looking over with my flashlight, and I hear two women say, "Hey, are you about done yet?" And I'm like, "Hey, I'll be down in a second, just hold on, you know." I come on down the ladder, turn off the lights, and I head back up, and I come up to the bar, they're not there, and I'm like, you know, where's my wife and where's the bartender at, you know, where you guys are at? So then they were standing out in front, and they come in, I'm like, what you guys want? What are you talking about? I said, I heard you guys calling me, was I done yet? And I answered back, you know, and they're like, we've been outside for the last half hour or so. Okay. Distinctly, two female voices like together, saying at the same time.
Now, did it resemble your wife's voice?
It sounded like my wife's voice, and it sounded like Connie's.
Okay.
Like if they would have came down to that landing there and called to me.
Okay. All right.
You know, I really couldn't see exactly their what position it would be because I wouldn't have been up there.
Right. And y'all call this the ballroom, right?
This is the grand ball.
The grand ballroom.
And this was not part of the original?
Not part of the original structure at the beginning. I think it was the late 1940s that they built the first portion on it here. This has been open way before this. It was like in the 50s, 60s, they built this. Okay, down in this area was the entrance off the State Street. And here is a different artifacts from the wars.
Right.
Ammo pouches, German prayer books, gauntlets, patches, medals and stuff they got from different things, rounds, different helmets that were taken, Civil War canteens, World War II canteens.
So you had any activity in this area?
I've been here to do a lot of cleaning up work. All this stuff had been damaged and waterlogged, and all the archival books have been under here, carrying up impulse to be drawn to things. Cleaning this out, different spots, I found stuff that had been stuffed away. The old rebel colors that they used to march down the streets with on the national conventions and stuff. Vietnam battle flags, Nazi armbands and everything like that with swastikas and everything that they, war trophies and type things.
Right.
And here you always hear things going on, movement, like somebody's moving around the halls, you hear doors closing, you hear chairs moving, especially when there's no chairs out there. Chairs moving. The metal chair has a very distinct sound being moved, right?
Right.
When I'm up here changing the marquee, it always sounds like, you know, there's somebody constantly coming in, you know, and I just got used to it, to the point where I know that they're here, you know, type thing.
So you call this the war room?
Trophy room / museum.
Well,
in this closet, there's not a whole lot of room, but this is where we keep all the letters for our marquees. When I'm in here, I always hear stuff back behind these stairs.
Okay.
You know, so it always sounds like something's going on back in there. This was like a regular little office they had when they first had their things going on.
Right.
The first part of it was built out there, so this would have been the exterior at one time in here. There was like an outlet there, and you can see the different of the framing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Water heater room in here.
So this
when
was
I've been in here, I've always had a uneasy feeling, kind of like I don't know, that I wasn't supposed to be in here.
Right.
Type feeling. In here, if you come in here, do not step off this platform. Suspended ceiling tiles off
Oh, I
those.
see. Okay. Okay, now this is the back, where the water heater is, or?
This is
okay.
above where that water heater is.
Well, we'll just tell people not to be up
I was drawn up here one day, I don't know why, and I came up and I looked, and we used to have like the big piece of carpet that was hanging over this. Was drawn to come in here, which I found the old uniforms that they had. Now in this old, where all the uniforms were, was one of the old Confederate Sons of America Honor Guard Rebels Retreat uniforms.
Right.
That resembles almost exactly what the General Howe has on there.
Right.
Wow.
Found that in here.
Wow.
When I turned around, I found flag standards that were used at national conventions. Well, being, just being inspired by everything I'm getting drawn to, that I come up and I look up above the ceiling tile, and up above inside the roof up there, that's when I found the rest of the flag standards. And I'll get the key for the galley, and I'll show you all the different flag standards that I've found and everything. And this was like where the Honor Guard kept all their stuff up before they moved downstairs.
Right. Wow.
There's been people that's fallen through. Senator Nixon.
Yeah, President Nixon.
They're one of the pictures.
Senator.
And over the years, different representatives have been here and everything. And this is where I brought all the archival books that you'll see in the other room. And different times, like when we first brought the books up here, my wife came up here and she just happened to pick a book by random and open it and flip it over, and I happened to be to the page where her father had passed away in our Honor Guard. They did his funeral.
I remember them telling
and everything,
us that.
and that was ironic.
Right.
I was going through trying to clean up a little bit in here, and then I was taking a couple books downstairs to set them down in the Merrimack room where the older guys could sit around and look at and reminisce. And one of the books I brought down there, I've always wondered who was Patton for the Patton Crosswhite. Happened to be in that book.
Wow.
That's down there on the table, and tells about.
Now, what is your wife's dad's name? What's his name?
Cecil.
Cecil?
Cecil Akers.
Cecil Akers. I mean, just, the reason I ask is because since she just randomly just flipped that page, I'm thinking, well, maybe, maybe there's some connection there. Maybe her dad was here, or so we'll try to mention that name when we do. It's giving me chills right now, just even.
Oh yeah, and that day that I heard the voices down in that closet from the stage. When I was coming down the ladder, that's when I found the Merrimack and Monitor pictures, and the picture for the USS Tennessee. We had the steering rudder indicator in there, and it was the picture that had the where they donated it to us and everything. And all these different pictures was just why did I have to find them, type thing. And it wouldn't. I've always felt like they've been leading me to things. I've drawn this place, I've given my heart and soul in this place.
That's good to know.
I do so much work. I felt, like somebody tapped me on the shoulder, brushing by me in different places I've been around, and I just got to the point where it's like, hey fellas, every time I walk down the hall, there's so much depth history. And see, the biggest thing that baffles me is that for so long that the members had cared so much and did so much, but then there was like this huge period where it was like everything stopped. You look in this room, you look around, and it's like,
everything has stayed between 51 and
what happened in here that they didn't continue the legacy? Why aren't they up here still in this grand table and all this type stuff? And it's like, something just let them not to have that care and that drive anymore. And to me, it was just like,
maybe just
give me
that
more,
one
give me more.
person.
Let me bring this back to the light. Let me get everybody to see this stuff again. I'm key control custodian, right? Of the thing, signed for all the keys and everything. And I looked and I looked and I looked for months on end to try to find the key to this door.
Right.
This door is the women's auxiliary meeting room.
Okay.
The day I found out that my wife was going to take over as the Madam President, be assigned as that until they get the charter and everything going and everything like that, I found the key that day. What happened ended up being one of the cleanest rooms in here. If you smell it, it takes on a whole different smell.
Yeah,
It does.
now, has anybody said about anything paranormal happening in here?
It's only been myself and my wife in here since I've been here.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, have y'all had any experiences in here?
Just when I found this and come in here, it was just that, wow, how big the room was, and just the feeling of, I don't know, just that whole being led to things.
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it. It's like, what's around that next corner?
Right.
It's that they're drawn to me too, and it's like, what am I missing when I come in here that I didn't find anything, or or something else, you know. And that's where the Royal Order of the Cootie would meet.
And what is the...
Royal Order of the Cootie is like after you've been a member so long that you get approached to be like in this other parallel. Most of the officers, if you're going to end up like making a career in the, or not a career, but you know, a legacy into the membership and all that stuff, that you move up to the Cootie level, and there you're like in a secret. This was their main meeting room. These are all archival
There's a little different
books
in here. So this was where the Grand Poobahs met.
Yeah, they all met in here and they had their little meetings in here. And
So it's hard to tell how many secrets were revealed in here?
well, I know that when I first came up in here, and it what got me was kind of like, I wouldn't want it in here at first, kind of like, you know, I felt just like I shouldn't be here.
The
I didn't know
air's
it was
a little...
I was feeling because it was the Order of the Cootie, or... They had up in here. I don't know what all they did up here. But every time I've been up there, I've always felt like somebody's looking over my shoulder.
Oh.
So mine, be very careful.
Okay.
Especially while you're up here, you'll step off and the hole there.
No,
Is there a light up there?
Yeah, it's lit. Yeah, there's sunlight coming in right now.
Watch this.
You okay, Rob?
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
And they would work on their slot machines up here, their projectors.
Room up there?
Yeah.
And then
So this is like a little project room?
like the projector room, project room, repair shop. Now when you go back upstairs on that big table, you'll see this architectural portrait done to the hall down there.
Uh-huh.
Those are the globes that originally hung from the ceiling down there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Is that Tommy?
Wow.
But normally when I'm in here, I just kind of feel like I can't breathe.
Right, yeah, the air is a lot
It's dense
different
up here.
It's a
You
lot.
can look over
We're
through
getting a
here.
little spike
See
here.
above some
That's
of
where all the power stuff is.
the grids and everything. And how all of the ceilings have come down.
Right. Yeah, my chest even is right up here.
But if you're up here and you just be very careful, don't step down there and get hurt. Alright?
Alright. I don't know that we will come up here, but we can definitely mention it. We'll wait until you get all the way down. In this room, tell me what's happened.
The bell will chime.
So has it been like a big, or just like a barely like an echo, or?
It sounds just like a little pebble hits it.
And is most of this when you're by yourself?
Usually, yeah, when I come through by, you know, or been here working, doing something by myself, it'll kind of sound like
Oh,
a little bit
that's
less
awesome.
than that, just kind of like a little bit lighter than that kind of thing. But enough for you know that's this bell being sounded. Now, when this thing's rung regular, I mean, it's definite type thing. But when I heard them voices that day, I was led to this portrait, led to this painting.
Now, where were those originally
Those were
at?
down in that closet from the stage.
Oh,
After I
okay.
heard the voices, that when I came down the ladder, I looked over and saw these things stacked up on top of each other and buried.
That is awesome.
And that one, and then this was from the USS Tennessee. That when they demantled it, this is one of the other ones I found up there. That
Now, what is that?
That is a rudder indicator. That captain would be up there and he'd say, we want to go to the left, or whatever they call that, blank, or port, starboard.
Oh, turn the boat.
Yeah, so he'd hit that and it'd
That's the boat steering wheel.
boat steering indicator. I want to turn left, turn right.
Now, is this an actual original?
This right here. At the museum, I probably have to pull it out so you can kind of look at the pictures behind it.
There's light in that case in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I hope it was. Yeah, that's what he did when we was here.
So did you find any of this, or
This was
was this
downstairs
here?
in the front and was covered up with a sheet for many years.
Oh, okay.
Finally I got the inkling that what is behind this thing? And I pulled it up and I'm like, why is this being hidden away for? I mean, should be something. Well, we started working on the idea of making this kind of area for the older guys because, you know, they're not wanting to be out there amongst the smoke and everything going on. They'd have a lounge to come to. So by putting this in here and everything, we kind of let, you know, them to get some of their history back. And it was like, oh my God, that's General Howe. And one of our members was at his funeral, was on the honor guard for his funeral. Now, he was 105 when he passed.
Wow.
Now, Norman's got a tape recording of him, and one time we had this traveling group come through, and they were in here getting ready to have their prayer for their dinner. Norman and I turned the speech on the PA system there and was listening to it. At that time, both doors to the kitchen area, they're slammed shut.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of freaky, but this was actually. How does he get that on here? Oh, this is General. Let me break nothing now. This was in the museum they had for him, and he was on display for a long time. When his wife passed, she donated it in her will and everything to here.
Wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
And so.
And his name
and I had
again
to
was
carry him all the
what?
way from the front because we couldn't get him up through the steps and everything. I had to take him all the way around the back, come in here. And so my wife came in and re-cleaned all the glass and everything and retouched him up, and we got him proper and everything painted, put these lights in here and stuff so he could be displayed. He seems to be very happy now.
Right.
And then here's a depiction of him before.
This is his uniform?
That's his uniform that he's wearing in that. And that's how he looked.
Wow, check him out.
Now, he was only a corporal when he was actually in the Civil War, but when they got out and the Sons of Confederate Sons of America got together, they'd have their veterans reunions, and then you could be promoted up as it went. Well, since he was like the oldest member left, I mean, he kind of got top billing. Now, everybody that has gone into this bathroom has always felt uncomfortable. And there's one lady that used to be the commander's wife that she refuses to ever come in here.
Has that been anything ever besides the men's bathroom that you know of?
Not since I've been here. The Merrimack wheel was the actual one on the USS Virginia before it was captured and turned into the ironclad ship. Now, being led to things, these are the original post colors that were stuffed away upstairs that I ended up finding. That in all the pictures you see of them marching down the parade route, this is the original colors.
Nobody ever knew why these things had been packed away like
I
that?
could never get any answer on anybody. This is that one picture that had these colors on it, yeah. So, here's the original colors, which is that flag. I have this flag at the house, because I'm trying to get it restored. And all these standards that they use on them. I must have put it downstairs in the kitchen. That they would put the little placards every time they go to the national conventions on it. Each year they would go, you know, representing wherever we went across the United States and everything. And those were some of the standards that I found up in the ceiling down there.
Wow.
I mean, to a spot where I had to take that long extension ladder to get up there. So they were put purposely out of the way.
Way out of the way.
Either to keep anybody from knowing about it, or
I mean,
for another reason.
There's a lot of other rooms that it could have been stored in instead of putting way back up like that. Yeah.
This is one of the jackets that I had found. In fact, there's a picture out there of the guy's jacket that I had found.
Oh.
That resembles General Howe's jacket.
Okay.
And it fit perfectly.
Oh, wow. Wow.
And I mean, so much that I wore it for Halloween and won first prize.
Oh, awesome. So
it was kind of cool.
So it got noticed again because of you wearing it.
Was that the only USS Virginia ever? Was that the only one ever in history in the
That
World
was the
War?
one that was captured and turned into the Merrimack.
That was in World War.
Civil
War.
Civil War, yeah. And the depiction of the fight right there, the two ironclad ships. And there's a picture of it right there. And I mean, those were the ones I was drawn to. And, you know, found them and cleaned them up and hung them in here. And
That's just amazing.
Well, now, was this the doors that you said slammed?
Yeah, these were open completely. And there were even stops by them, like the stop that's on there like that. And they had it open, and when they were getting ready to do their prayer before they got ready to eat, and when Norman played that thing of General House speaking, those things are...
Oh, so there were several witnesses to that.
And because that's when we lit up the General so everybody could see it, because we're on a 30-minute timer on it like this, you know, where the battery's down. So he was lit up. His voice is playing in the other room.
And these doors slammed. Oh man, that gives me chills.
I told you the previous bartender and everything that used to work here had passed away.
Yeah. And there was
Kind of
her
on sudden.
when she left.
Oh yeah, I'll run her out of here.
Right.
How long ago did she pass?
August of last year.
Oh, so it hasn't been that long ago.
They was, I was supposed, they was some, well, they was supposed
And her
to
name
give
was Lynn.
Lynn? Okay.
Lynn.
Alright.
And if she's around, she's probably not happy.
Now, was she older? Did she have health problems, or was this something
She
sudden?
had some
or
health problems, but the death was, they couldn't figure out what the cause of death was with her. She had been on vacation and had just started feeling bad one day, went to the hospital, and a couple of days later she passed, and they couldn't narrow it down.
Do you know how old she was?
She was maybe 40, 42.
Wow, so close to my age. That's scary. There's no temperature difference? Man, it feels colder in here.
Yeah, just...
Now, these are some of the flag standards that I had got out of the ceiling.
Oh, okay.
And here's the ones I was telling you about that had the tags on it for the conventions and all. These things are just... How the hell did I ever get them in there?
I got some jingle jugs. Hey, Ron.
Oh, Lord.
We found you some jingle jugs.
And so, for each one of the conventions they went, with the picture I showed you upstairs,
Right.
with all the different flags on it, they would have many of those.
Those are brass.
That is amazing.
I have one of them at home that I've shined up, and I'm going to work on getting the rest of these.
What's the earliest date on this?
Let's see, I see 53, 52, 51, 50, 49.
49.
That is awesome.
Now these are all the ones that I found up on the ceiling up there.
Wow, that's just amazing. 49 on
49
that one,
on
too.
this one.
And it's just crazy.
So God, that's just amazing.
So, did everybody seem appreciative that you had found this stuff, or
They resent the hell out of me.
Because they didn't find it?
Because I'm very motivated, I'm very passionate about this place. My intentions
But they
on this
didn't
place
seem
are
to
exactly
feel like...
what the founders wanted, to perpetuate the memory of our fallen, to take care of their widows and the orphans, the camaraderie and esprit de corps and everything amongst our members. You know, we have a place together where we all have the similar situations that have happened where we can be comfortable enough around each other, whereas if we go anywhere else that we're kind of on guard all the time.
Right.
So this is kind of, you know, like our hall or sanctuary to be at kind of thing.
Relax.
And over the years that a lot of different people have come through here and have disrespected this place, and I think it really pisses off the spirits that are here, man. And whenever like something will happen up in the bar with some people that come in or whatever like that, and they really get under my skin, I come down here and I have to vent down here.
Right.
I have to scream, I have to holler, I have to shout. I just get it out of my system, and then I'm able to go back up there and deal with things.
Right.
But it's been a lot of times, and the most recent thing was just on this past Thursday. I mean, I was driven to such rage that I had to leave. I had to get out of here. Yeah, I was bartending at the time.
Now, did anything happen with any of the people that were in here, or was it just a feeling you got?
It was something that had been building up. We had borrowed a couple people months and months ago, I think maybe before Christmas. And these individuals were bad news, coming here, ruckus and cause problems and disrespect everything and carry on. And then the one guy was trying to get back in, and I told him several times that you're not coming back in, and it was just like just feeding up, because I always preach about the veterans of foreign wars. Patton Crosswhite is a veteran
Safety.
building. It's like, you know, an embassy on foreign soil. You come here, and if you disrespect it, you're disrespecting the country and those who have fallen and everything like that. And it hit me such a point, man, that it was like I'm defending it at all costs. And I mean, I went out looking to do this individual harm, and by the grace of God, he wasn't out there when I went out there. Everybody got me back inside to cool me down, but that wasn't enough. I had to leave, and it took me about 2 days until Saturday evening for me to get back where I even wanted to come back here for a while.
Wow. Wow.
And so, I mean, I don't know why it is I feel I have to protect this place so much.
It's your calling.
It's it. And it's a greater thing. I've moved around. I got out of the military after 10 years, and I've moved around so much. But when I moved to Virginia, and this was my home, you know, I decided to stay here for the rest of my life, and was the only VFW I ever thought about joining, and I was drawn here.
Wow.
You had no roots here before, no family
No
or
roots,
anything?
nothing.
What about your wife? Well, you said
I met her here.
You met her here?
Not here at the post,
Yeah,
but I met her from
in this
working out of town
area.
up here in the area.
Did you hear that?
So when do y'all use this area? I mean, is it...
Whenever we book bands to do a downstairs type event or something like that,
Y'all had
and
one
then we'll
setting
open
up.
this up.
When we came up here, y'all had one setting up that night.
So
Do you do wedding receptions here?
they've done wedding receptions, quinceañeras, the 15th Mexican birthday party thing, like the Sweet 16. We've done in here. Back in the day, there being big galas in here, black tie events.
I would imagine.
And a couple of the incidences, I think, was either in the 50s or 60s that the two women had got murdered in here.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And both of them
Wow.
were knife incidences.
Yeah.
Do we know
One of them
anything
had
about
her
names
throat
or
cut.
anything?
I don't know, maybe if the old commander comes back in. And see, that's what the kind of thing that got me is that when I got that rage at that individual, I wanted to cut him. So, I mean, I don't know if that ties in with the thing, and I mean...
And that was back in, what, you said, 1950s?
50s or 60s that happened. It could have been even...
And there was one in 89.
And there's one in 89.
When we came up, it said, my notes from then was said, in 1989, a woman was murdered in the ballroom by her husband, and it was right around in the middle of the floor over there. So, yeah.
Wow, this is going to be interesting.
And they also said in this room that there was shadows around the exit sign here, around this doorway. So, which I know we're going to have 2 cameras.
When I'm in here doing things, I always see things, I just kind of accept them for them being here.
Right.
And that's what usually when I always come down, I speak to them.
And that's probably they feel comfortable with
Yeah.
you.
And I always come in here and I practice my eulogy thing that I give for the funerals and everything, and
Right.
rehearse it down here and blow the taps down here and stuff like that and practice. And
Right. So
I
they
always feel
probably
like I
just
have
surround
to
you
pay
a lot,
respect to
huh?
them, man. I mean, they like me here, I think.